Familiar Wilson's Media. Relationships are the story.
You are made of meat, my friend, all the way down.
The following podcast uses words like and also. If you're not into any of that shit, then now's your chance.
3, 2, 1.
Run.
Super familiar with the Wilsons. Get it!
Welcome to Super Familiar with the Wilsons. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Josh. Amanda, we are on day 13 of the Wilson fundraising drive. Phone lines are now open. If you too would like to join hundreds and hundreds of our other listeners in contributing to the success and welfare of the Wilson family.
I have seen no returns. Are you hoarding all of the fundraising?
No. It's your birthday's coming up, and it's
yes.
all to be a big surprise.
All right. Keep sending money my way then, friends.
Since we last spoke to you, I've had a birthday. We've had a soccer game, and I thought we would start there.
Oh, do we have to?
Forget it. Let's do a silly quiz and then get out of here and screw sharing our lives with these people.
No, it's just soccer is sad right now.
No, just start with my birthday then. That's happy.
Oh, that was fine. I wasn't talking about your birthday. You said soccer and we'll start there. And that's why I was like, that's setting us off on a depressing tone. But you had a birthday. Josh is officially 9. We'll let you do the math on what part of 9 puts together his age. We had 3 sort of celebrations this week. We had one on Tuesday with the family. Thursday night, we had friends over for a lovely dinner party. And then Saturday, Muffy made a from-scratch key lime pie, Josh's favorite, to celebrate him yet once again. So happy birthday, Josh.
And your birthday is coming up. But I bring that up to talk about this. My wife, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the most sensitive, caring people in the world. And the way that she shows her love for people is doing stuff for them or buying stuff for them.
Gifts and acts of service. These are my love languages.
Yeah, I love it. My love language is a pat on the butt, and I thank you very much. So I'm
words of affirmation and physical touch. That's what you meant.
Sure, whatever. But yeah, we had some folks over. And the reason why I wanted to bring this up is just an acknowledgement of as I age, I'm becoming a little less crusty.
Nice.
Meaning I bathe more, a little less curmudgeonly, and a little more willing to let people in. Better late than never.
Yes.
And so it was lovely just to sit around with friends and eat at our dinner table. And even though the chair upon which I sat broke midway through the dinner, doesn't matter. I had a great time.
The thing is, you never told anybody it broke. Like the next day, you're like, yeah, that broke. I mean, to be fair, it had already broken and you had repaired it. So it wasn't like the weight of you broke it. It just, your repair job wasn't super solid.
Well, no, the weight of me did break it. This is one of those things where I put off fixing it because I really didn't know how to fix it. It's a very nice higher chair, but the seat, the actual seat itself, just the plank of wood, is like particle board. And it had broken last week. And I said, yeah, I'll fix it. It'll be easy. I went to the store Wednesday night, eve of my birthday, looked around, I was like, oh, well, I guess I've not really thought out this trip to the DIY store. I just figured I would go there and the DIY gods would gift me with enlightenment on how to fix this thing with a minimum of tools. I'll put that out there as well. Don't have a lot of tools for that.
You really needed a saw that you could cut like plywood or something, right?
No, I have a saw that can cut plywood, but I have a saw that can cut plywood. It's like the saw blade is very large toothed.
Yes.
I'm just like you. And
Rob Beckett, not me.
Just like Rob Beckett. And it wouldn't be good for that fine type of work. I would end up taking a piece of wood home, using this saw on it, and then there would be splinters.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a different kind of chair that we do not want.
Yes.
What I ended up doing was taking one of the lids to one of our plastic containers out in the garage and destroying it, and then gluing it to the
Oh my God. I did not know this is what you did.
gluing it to the 4 different pieces of the chair, figuring, oh, that'll hold it.
What made you think it would?
It did for half of the dinner.
Yes. Oh, Lord.
Is it good that I didn't tell you that beforehand?
I mean, yes. And I also thank you for being the one to sit upon it and not give it to one of our guests.
Well, of course, I wasn't going to do that. So anyway, we had a lovely time. It was nice to have friends over, and all of that is to say, I'm very evangelical right now about us getting together with our friends instead of deciding, oh, it's too comfortable not to. Well, that's great until you're, 98, laying there with no friends.
Oh, that's really sad.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? So no, you need to encourage yourself to make relationships grow that you've had for a while, and then make new relationships. And there you go. So that's my birthday.
It was really lovely. I was very proud of all the food I made. Everything turned out great. But I will tell you, though, that I was feeling the 11 p.m. bedtime the next day and the red wine. Like, I'm not, usually you and I are in bed by 9. And so having a dinner party on a weeknight, just be prepared to need some extra coffee in the morning.
And let me just tell you, me being to bed early is not a function of age. I've always wanted just to go to sleep early. That's always been a thing that I've tried to do. There's a period of time where I was going downtown and spending time downtown where I'd stay up super late. Never good for me. Never left me at my best. So
I was before I met you, because you've always been a early tucker inner. I don't know how to say that.
Tuck.
Do you tuck?
No, I do not tuck. So just a brief word on the soccer Saturday that we had yesterday. Winthrop's team lost like 6-1.
No, it was 4-1.
Yesterday, when we were watching the game, we sat at the end of one of the goals, like on the goal side, and we sat back because it was shady, and we wanted to do that. Instead of sitting on the sideline, pretty much in the middle, right up on the action, which is what we've done thus far. And at first, I was a little annoyed that you wanted to sit in the shade. But
I told you did not have to sit with me.
But then I realized that the further away the game was, the less I cared what happened on the field.
Oh, okay.
So it was a good thing because they got absolutely smashed.
Is that why you kept getting up from your chair and walking over to the sideline?
Well, yeah, because I had an option to come back when I was starting to get agitated again. So that's perfect. The further away I am from something, the less it bothers me, which actually kind of reinforces my avoidant behavior.
Yeah, let's dive into that one a little bit.
Well, yesterday we played a very good team with a person on it that I feel should probably go pro.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how good this kid is. And so we weren't going to win, and I knew we weren't going to win. So my job as a parent was to make sure that Winthrop didn't care.
Yeah.
Well, but he's starting to care about the winning and the losing. And the joy of soccer is starting to leave his bones.
Well, okay. So here, I actually need some advice here. And this is aimed at the Belsons or anybody else who's played the footy or a team sport.
Or any other parents out there. Let's ask. Let's rely less on Dan Belson for parenting advice and more on the parents out there, please.
Dan Belson, I'm happily here because you, though, were in Winthrop's shoes. And so I'm asking about how you were parented. So excuse my husband's very limited view of your expertise.
No, I think it's pretty realistic.
Okay, hush. So anybody who has have you played a team competitive sport, or do you parent children who played a team competitive sport? We had this experience with Muffy, but she danced competitively on a dance team, and that's different. That's a whole different ballgame, right? Winthrop has been heretofore fine because the last season he was on the team with the kid who just killed us yesterday, and the two of them together made a really good team. Like they were scoring, they were defending, they outshone everybody on their team. Well, this time they're on opposing teams, and Winthrop has wound up on a team with kids who are younger than him, kids who haven't played before. So his just natural skill level is a little more advanced than theirs. And last season he was happy, fine, win or lose, didn't care, had a good time. This season,
it's because they won more than they lost, although they did lose last season.
They did, and he was okay. And they lost, I mean, this is now our fourth game, right? They lost the first two games. They tied last week. They lost yesterday. And that's starting to get to him. I mean, he didn't want to go yesterday. My stomach hurts. But one thing we know about him, when we get there, he has a really good time. Like, he wants to go. So he was, my stomach hurts and kind of like fussing on the way in. And I said, you're just going to do practice because this league does 30-minute practice in the game. Do practice, see how you feel. And as soon as we got there, he's like, can I go play? Like, he wants to go. But you could see him start to flag. Like, he was still trying to stay up with this kid that he played with. He's a pretty good defender. He's not being aggressive with trying to score like he was last season. He's hanging back a little bit, but he started to get like just real droopy. And our team had more players than the other, so they alternated quarters, and he was sitting out and he was sitting on me, and he said, "This is why I don't like soccer, because we don't win." And I think that it's not that we don't win every time. It's just very defeating because they have not won 4 games. They're 4 games into a season, they haven't won. And Josh and I might be at opposing views on this, because I am of the mindset that he's got natural talent. When he's out there, he likes it. And I don't want him to become just defeated because he's trying and the other kids aren't able to, or they're not trying, or whatever that is. My question is, how much do we push him to keep going, or how much do we just say, okay, you don't like it, and we stop? Josh just wants him to be happy playing and not care about winning or losing. I want him to develop some technique and get some discipline behind it. There's also a lot of research around team sports and what it does positively to your mental health. I mean, you can get into a situation where it's bad, and also, just developing teamwork skills. So anyway, my question is, do we push him, or do we just let him say, well, you weren't winning, you got defeated, and we give up?
Apropos of nothing, on January 6, 1994, Nancy Kerrigan, an American figure skater, was struck on the lower right thigh with a baton by assailant Shane Stant as she walked down a corridor at Cobo Arena in Detroit. Kerrigan had been practicing skating on an ice rink in the arena shortly beforehand. Well, they came to find out that the striking on the knee with a baton was at the behest of Tanya Harding, or at least Tanya Harding's husband, Jeff Gillooly.
Are you comparing my wanting the child to develop some skills with Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan? Because that's absolutely ridiculous.
No, I'm saying that I would never condone doing anything to a child, but maybe we got to take out a couple of these opposing coaches.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I didn't realize you were planning. I thought you were like, here's what happens if you get competitive. Please stop. You can't take out any of the coaches.
I'm not condoning hitting anyone with anything. I'm basically a pacifist, but I'm not above giving someone like a chocolate donut that is coated with chocolate flavored X-Lax or something.
Yeah. If you're not,
because the restrooms at the field are really far away.
Oh, and they're really gross too. So no one wants to be lingering there for a while.
Yeah. So I'm just throwing that out there.
No, you can't. That's not okay. But maybe we should not have him enroll in the beginner league anymore, because flat out kid we played yesterday should not be in the beginner league. Like, that just isn't a thing. So maybe we need to do the intermediate level. I'm not saying advanced, but where people are trying a little bit more.
All right. So parents out there, or Belsons, let us know what you think. What do you think we should do? familiarwilsons@gmail.com. Amanda, it's been a while since we've had our segment called Wilson Wonderings.
Oh, yes. Are you wondering things?
I am wondering. I wonder a lot of things. Why are there flower designs on toilet paper?
That's a really good question. Are we supposed to equate the cleaning of our bottoms with like lovely spring days?
Maybe it's that in ancient times they used to use flowers and not leaves to clean themselves up.
Okay.
All right, next one. Is it true that scissors feel more trustworthy in elementary school colors?
I don't think that it's elementary school colors. I think the blades aren't as sharp, silly boy. Although, by the way, Winthrop cut his hand today using big boy scissors. Like our regular scissors. It's like, it's okay, I can do it. And just cut right into his palm.
What color were they?
Red.
Oh, well, okay.
Primary color.
Yeah, but blood. Are croutons just vintage bread?
Vintage bread. That's funny. Yes, and they're yummy.
Why is there no Olympic event for sneezing multiple times in a row?
Because you would win it. If there was an Olympic event for like the decibel level people hit when they sneeze, you would win it.
Listen, this is a thing that I cannot help. And I had to fire someone for making fun of me for how loud my sneezing was. So
I'm sorry, what?
No, not really. They make fun of me for my sneezes all the time in the office.
Because they're so loud. You can control a sneeze. You can.
No, you can't.
Yeah. Friend, I do. I can control my sneeze. When you're asleep in bed and I have to sneeze, you hold the bridge of your nose or push your tongue up on the top of your mouth and you don't sneeze.
Oh, okay. That is the most ridiculous thing that I've ever heard there, Cinderella. Listen, if I were to try to hold my sneeze back at the force and volume, like my eyes would pop out the first time, and then things would explode. The spleen would shoot out of my armpit or something. Can't have it.
Have you always sneezed this loudly?
Yes, I can't help it.
I mean, like even as like a teenager?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Why does every laundry room feel slightly haunted?
Because it's the ghost of all the damn socks that have lost their soulmates.
If a rolling stone gathers no moss, why do ceiling fans gather dust when they're spinning?
Fair point. I want an air purifier.
Okay. Why?
Because it's supposed to keep the dust from building up in my room, and all the commercials show me ceiling fans with no dust on them.
Yeah, that's definitely why there's no dust. Why do hangers multiply when I'm not looking for one, but disappear when I need one?
That's a good point, too.
Why do children's Band-Aids work better emotionally than medicinally?
Yes. Unless you're Winthrop and you hate sticky things and don't want Band-Aids on you when you need them.
Why do we instinctively hold our breath when we're thinking too hard?
I don't know that I do that.
What do you mean? This is a thing that everyone does. Everyone does this.
Well, you've polled the whole world? I don't know. Listeners, do you hold your breath when you're thinking too hard?
Yes, they do. By the way, we bought lottery tickets last night for my birthday, and I have not checked them yet.
Oh.
So we're going to have to check them here. Why do folded towels feel morally superior to unfolded ones?
Because they're clean and they're fresh out of the dryer and no one's thrown them on the ground and then picked them back up and hung them on something.
You know, I prefer like taking my towel that I've used once, by the way, and hanging it back up.
I have no problem with that. I don't think
Okay.
you should reuse a towel every time. I do think they should be washed once a week, but I'm mostly speaking to the fact that when Winthrop gets out of the shower, he just will drop his towel wherever he feels like it, and then I find them all amongst the house.
I have no problem with drawing with my towel, hanging it up, and then like have that be my towel for the next couple weeks without.
Couple weeks is pushing it.
No, it's like an old friend. Listen, I feel judged when I wash, right? And I go to get a towel and it's a new clean towel. Like, oh, you think you're better than me?
The towel or me for putting out the clean towels?
No, the towel.
Okay.
Why does the word ointment feel like it was invented by accident?
I feel like it was invented by a pig.
Why are pen caps usually single-use plastic?
Yeah. Do people have pen caps anymore? Because I don't think they all just click now.
There are most definitely Bics that have pen caps that I guess are part of the packaging because I always lose them. Always. They are somewhere, but I don't know where they are. Why don't stairs also have emergency stop buttons? Listen, you need that. You know what an emergency stop button on an escalator is, right?
Yes, but it stops the thing so you don't get sucked into the mechanism. But how?
No one is concerned that you're going to get sucked into the mechanism. This is not why there are emergencies.
Yeah, it's just your foot starts to go into the treads.
How small is your foot?
Very small. Have you
You'd
seen
have
my
to
foot?
have like a little foot like an action figure.
No.
G.I. Joe is trapped again, and where's the emergency
Or
stop
like
button? Get
if
outta
your
here.
pant leg gets stuck in it.
It's not a thing that happens. Anyway, you of all people need stairs to have emergency stop buttons because you are constantly falling down the stairs.
You fell down last.
Huh?
You fell down last week, so you were the last person to have fallen down the stairs.
All right, we're moving on.
What does an emergency stop button on the stairs do? They still stay stationary.
No, you would stop falling then.
If it would have to put up a gate.
Ooh, there's an idea. A little net. They call it the
Right.
Amanda stair net. is
Like
what
the
we call it.
firefighters bring when you need to jump out of a building. Yeah.
Why are there no bear-flavored gummy grapes?
This is dumb.
Why do trash cans often smell worse after you've emptied them?
I mean, for real though, because it has the lingering smell of all of the trash bags that have ever existed in that trash can.
You know what else? Now, we get these bins from the city, right? So I don't know if we're allowed to do anything. But really, all of your bins should have holes on the bottom for when it rains and it fills it up so that you just don't get that soup of just dreck and nastiness there. Why do extension cords tie themselves into more effective knots than I could ever hope to?
Yeah, I don't know. Same with Christmas lights.
Why does my experience at a drive-thru always feel like they're giving me a quiz I didn't study for?
Because it's just more options than you were bargaining for?
It's so stressful. It is so stressful. And I guess I should already know what I want. You know what they need to have? They need to have, as a part of your app, if you're driving up to a drive-thru and you're waiting in a line, especially if it's a longer line, and you have not yet seen the menu, that it'll just, oh, you're at Chick-fil-A, which, by the way, I don't ever want to go to Chick-fil-A, but you're here. This is the menu items. Also, this is what you've ordered in the past and you've liked.
Well, if you click on the Chick-fil-A app, it does that. Like
No.
frequently ordered meals, it will tell you.
Okay, well, but I've already mentioned that Chick-fil-A was the first thing that came to mind, but I don't ever want to go to Burger King. I'm quite certain the Burger King app doesn't do that. But they need to. Let's put AI to actual use. Let's not use AI to take over for writers and artists. Let's task AI to sorting us out when we're going through fast food drive-thrus. This is all I am saying to you. And then the last one, how does the weather app lie with such incredible confidence?
My God, it does. Like, so convincingly. 80% chance of rain, 0.1 inches, 60-degree cooling down, and then it's dry and deserty and 95 degrees.
Yep, welcome to Florida. All right, so there's some Wilson wonderings. Do you have wonderings? Let us know. familiarwilsons@gmail.com. That music tells us it's time for the news. Amanda, I have a news article for you. Just want to know what you think.
Right.
This is one of those things that goes under the category of funny because it happened. I don't need to make it funny, right? It's just like, it's ridiculous. Okay. Did you know that a bridge in Ireland designed to swing open for ships couldn't be opened for 4 years because the remote control that operated the swing bridge was misplaced?
No.
The bridge was unable to be opened until the control system was reprogrammed in 2014. So this is the Sean O'Casey Bridge in Dublin, Ireland, a pedestrian swing bridge over the River Liffey, or Liffey, I'm not certain which, was unable to open for maritime traffic for approximately 4 years due to a lost remote control. How big do we figure this remote control would have been for a bridge?
My question was going to be, is it an Apple TV remote? Because then I understand.
I doubt it was that small.
Those things go all the time.
It was constructed in 2005. It says the remote, described as being about the size of a 1990s era mobile phone, was misplaced.
Oh, that's big.
Yeah. Budget constraints delayed the development of a replacement. What?
Can't you just go to Best Buy and get that?
What? Yeah, universal remote. It's got the big buttons. Not losing that shit. But I don't understand, like, how intricate this remote had to be to signal, like, basically open or close. It's an A/B switch. Open or close. What the hell did they need to do?
I don't know.
Eventually, in 2014, an Irish firm reprogrammed a new remote control at the cost of approximately $1,800. Again,
that's not much, friends. Like, that's not 4 years worth of budget constraints.
Well, maybe it is. I don't know what the Dublin Docklands Development Authority, what their budget's like.
If you get somebody to pay you $100 a month, you got that thing fixed in a year and a half.
Yeah, well, yeah, but they had to spend money on, I don't know, potatoes or Baileys or something. I don't know. Anyway, this highlights the challenges of relying on single points of failure in any system. One thing happens bad and then your whole thing is screwed. Not a great idea. You should probably have, in addition to the remote control, like, oh, I don't know, a button.
Right.
A switch.
I can even turn my TV on and off at the TV.
Yeah. Oh, go humans. We're the best.
Yay.
It's save the date time. No, I don't mean Amanda's birthday coming up here in May. I mean May 8th is National Josh Day.
Why is it? Does it mean joshing like hitting somebody? Like we're all supposed to go around joshing people?
No. It's an occasion where individuals named Josh are celebrated.
We just celebrated you this whole week.
I know, me as a specific Josh, but then now we're widening the circle and celebrating like General Joshes.
Okay. General Josh Day, May 8th.
Send me flowers. Contribute to our fund drive. You know, if you give a donation today to the Wilson fundraising drive, just send it to me. I will make sure that come Josh Day, fun things will happen. I'll have a fun time.
What will you do? You will have a fun time, but how? How does this benefit the listeners for sending you money?
I'll get a new remote for our cantilevered bridge.
There you go.
What time is it? Game time!
That song means it's game time, and we haven't had a flashbacks in a while. So, Josh, are you ready for a flashbacks?
For all of our new listeners, the influx of people listening from Antarctica and Spain and Uruguay, please let them know what Flashbacks is.
So, flashbacks is a quiz by the New York Times.
Not a sponsor.
No, but they can if they want. In which they give us, I think it's 8 events in history. And Josh has to figure out where they go on a continuum of time before and after each other. It's going to give us an anchoring event, and then he has to decide is the next one before or after that. And Josh also levels it up by trying to guess the exact time in history that this took place.
Okay, so hit me. What's
right.
the first one?
Here's your anchoring event. 2 stars collide in a far-off galaxy, creating gold. It's evidence that gold can come from the stars.
I don't even fucking know what you're asking me there.
When did these 2 stars collide in a far-off galaxy, creating gold?
Okay, billions of years ago.
No.
Wait, what?
Not billions of years ago.
But if it's in a far-off galaxy, you know how long it takes to get information from a far-off galaxy?
Yes, but not billions.
Right. No, it has to be, because by the time any information that we get from like a far-off galaxy reaches us, it's already like that happened like thousands upon millions of years ago by the time that light or information reaches us.
Okay, so what's your guess?
Oh, for a million years ago.
140 million years ago.
Okay, well, don't roll your eyes
Because you
at
were
me
saying billions, and it's not. It's millions.
All right, what date is that specifically so I can write it?
140 million years ago. So this is going to help you anchor all the other things will be after this.
Right, that's what I'm saying, is like just after the universe was formed, this or that thing happened. Go ahead.
The next thing is,
Jesus.
During the Red Scare, top U.S. universities take a clear and public stance on McCarthyism compliance. Harvard will continuously buck the trend. Or not continuously, cautiously buck the trend. So before or after the formation of the universe?
I'm going to say that that's definitely in the 1950s or early 60s. 1959.
1953. So good. Close. Okay. Kept out of the official credits, an upset programmer hides his name in a secret room in an Atari game. It's one of the first video game Easter eggs. Do you know the story?
Fun. No, I don't.
We'll look at it after the game.
Well, the Atari games are in the late 70s, early 80s, because that was the first video game I'd ever played. Well, that's not true. It's the first home video game I'd ever played. So I'm going to say 1980.
We had an Atari. 1980, exactly.
Bam, extra points.
And the church bell's ringing for you. Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. All right. A handy fashion invention, variously called the slide fastener, clasp locker, or clothing closure, gets a name that sticks. The zipper.
Oh, I was going for a Velcro. So when were zippers invented? So that's got to be way back in the day, right?
I would think so, but probably not at the formation of the universe.
Do we think that that's how zippers were created? Two galaxies collided?
Yep.
1920.
1923. You're on a roll, friend.
Bam! On a roll. The zipper was invented in 1923, just in time for the Second World War.
Yes. The U.S. detains thousands of Italian Americans as enemy aliens. It stops when it realizes it needs Italian American troops to invade Europe. That sounds so much like the U.S.
Okay, well, it's going to be between zippers and Red Scare, so... Oh, unless it's World War One.
I don't know.
Ooh, this is a tough one. Okay, I'm just going to have to roll the dice. We're going to say 1936.
1941. Good, good, good.
That was silly. I knew it would be later than that.
Oh, Lord. So this next clue is a series. It's not written in English alphabet. It's a series of dashes and dots. And at the very bottom, in parenthetical text, it says Morse code is invented. New York Times getting cheeky.
Yeah. Well, they're running out of ideas. You got to figure, again, that's got to be... It's probably earlier than I think. Because I would assume then that that's around a war again, because a lot of our technological and communicative advances were based around necessity and because, hey, these people are going to kill us, so we got to figure out how to trick them or whatever. Morse code. But then there were telegraphs. Did telegraphs use Morse code?
I don't know.
That was in the Old West. All right, 1850, Morse code.
Okay. 1838. You're doing very well, friend. All right, 3 more. The inventor Josephine Cochran exhibits an early hand-powered dishwasher in Chicago. One issue, most U.S. homes don't have hot water.
Bam. Come on, Josephine. Use your head for once.
Right.
Hand-powered. Why are they grouping these all together, though? Because I feel like they're making it difficult on me. I've got 4 that are between 1838 and 1953.
Yep.
And I need them to spread these out a little bit.
Well, no, I mean, they went 140 million years ago and then like the 19th century. Like they skipped a whole lot of stuff.
Okay, I have no ability to guess this. I'm going to say 1916.
Okay. So after Morse code, but before the zipper.
Yeah.
1893. So you still got it right on the thing. All right, ready for your penultimate question?
Go ahead.
U.S. railroads create 4 time zones from Eastern to Pacific. Are these the people that created the time zones? I didn't know that. Americans now all have a clear answer to the question, what time is it? What did we just all not know? We just all guessed?
Well, it's a little bit more important when you have the necessity of asking someone to pick me up at the airport at such and such a time.
And or like the people to switch the track so the trains don't collide.
That too. I don't know, dude. Again, I feel like this is all in this. They're really trying to trip me up here. 1870.
Okay, so between Morse code and the dishwasher.
Yeah, that once they develop Morse code, they could send this information. Hey, also it's 2:00 over there.
Correct. 1883.
Bam.
All right, last one. I mean, you are going for a clean sweep here.
Queen sweep.
Algae first appear in Earth's waters.
Well, that's stupid.
Some will emit dimethyl sulfide, a pungent molecule that creates the distinctive smell of sea air.
Okay, so 600 BC. I don't know, dude. No, it's going to be way before that, but it's clearly...
But it's not 140 million years ago?
Dude, whoever put together today's quiz, they need to be fired. Yeah.
Maybe the quiz maker was out for like spring break and this is the junior,
their kid.
The junior writer.
Yeah, that's right. Go ahead. So yeah, between...
Incorrect, but close.
What?
1.5 billion years ago.
No shit. Okay.
Oh, astronomers found a possible sign of algae on another planet by detecting dimethyl sulfide. Sorry, friend. You were so close.
I'm really annoyed. This is not a way to treat me on my birthday. On my birthday week, by the way. We have a dear friend of ours who doesn't live in this country who objects to birthday weeks. I'm keeping it rolling, baby, especially after I've been abused by the New York Times here.
Well, I'm upset because here's the deal with the flashback. So it's all based on events that are currently happening, like the Red Scare. We can kind of figure out why that's on here. But I was really excited to go to the Easter egg one to figure out what game this guy hid it in. And
Right.
Instead, the article is Easter eggs are so expensive, Americans are dying potatoes.
We talked about this a couple weeks ago on
know.
our podcast.
Yeah. But it doesn't tell me what I want to know the story about the guy with the Atari.
Well, you can look it up. You've got a miracle in your hands, a miracle of technology and electronics.
Yeah. So this is the first year that we did not dye eggs. Although Muffy really does want deviled eggs today for Easter lunch. So we'll have to see. I've got about 6 eggs left, so we can do that.
You have any thoughts about any of this mess? Let us know. familiarwilsons@gmail.com.
No one likes to be told what to do.
And now is the time in the podcast where we tell you what to do. Amanda, what should we do?
If you are at all into kind of like Agatha Christie type murder mysteries, not like your gory stuff, but your puzzly type stuff, I am reading a new book by novelist Kristen Perrin. It's called How to Solve Your Own Murder. She is a YA author. This is her first adult novel.
YA.
Young adult. Young adult. And it's it's like along the veins of Agatha Christie, or Richard Osman is also listed on the back of this book as it being like that, which Richard Osman, if you are familiar with UK television presenters, is a television presenter host in the UK that we really enjoy, but also writes a very successful series of novels set in like a retirement community. And I'm just very, very much enjoying this book. So if you are interested, go get yourself How to Solve Your Own Murder.
I looked at it and I noticed that it's written in the present tense and I don't like it.
Yeah, it is written in the present tense and I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. But it switches back and forth between, so it's the great granddaughter of this woman who gets this fortune when she's 16 that she's going to die by murder. And she lives her whole life trying to figure out who's going to murder her. And then turns out she does. And so her granddaughter is trying to solve the murder. But it flips back and forth between the granddaughter's present time point of view and then the grandmother's point of view back in like the 60s. So it's interesting.
All right. Okay. Well, there you go. As long as I don't have to read it.
You don't have to read it, but I'm reading it. I like it.
Alrighty, Amanda, that's all there is. There is no more. What'd you think of that?
I mean, I think that I'm happy that it is a lovely Sunday morning. The church bells are ringing. We had some lovely little Easter baskets with the children and very lovely, I made English muffin breakfast sandwiches with bacon and cheese and egg, and it was great, and sat outside and it's not hot yet. And so it's a lovely day so far, and I've enjoyed spending this time talking with you.
And this podcast was made possible by the tireless efforts of people who should not be allowed near electricity. So we want to make sure to thank Justin, our senior sock interpreter, Matt, our inverted wind chime tuner, Antonio, our paranormal sandwich artist, Josh Scar, our acoustic beard technician, Daniel J. Buckets, the noise curator of Unexplained Honks, Chicken Tom, our bureau chief of poultry ethics and spaghetti narration, Monique from Germany, our time-space accordionist, Refined Gay Jeff, our diva frequency stabilizer, Mark and Rachel, our dual-headed ceremonial fog machiners, and of course Dan and Gavin, our co-ministers of chaos and gelatin. And to you, dear listener, our passive psychic co-hosts, who unknowingly influenced the entire show via your facial expressions at 12:36 p.m. last Thursday. We, of course, wish you a good and happy week until we talk to you again.
All right, go be kind.
Bye.
Bye.
Anko. Are you ready for us to start?
Yeah. You didn't.
I did. You were actually reading a book.
Well, because I'm really into this book and because you told me that you weren't ready yet. And then usually I hear the, and then you point at me and none of that happened.
Oh, no, that's not true. I pointed at you.
Welcome to Super Familiar with the Wilsons. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Josh.